Hello, this is Cityscape, a regular vodcast featuring people, places, and ideas that impact Livonia. I'm Dan West with the Livonia Chamber of Commerce. We are at the historic campus of Methodist Children's Home Society in Redford, where they have tended to orphaned and mistreated children for more than a century. Today we will learn how this nonprofit organization continued to develop new programs and fundraise this year amid the social limitations of the pandemic. The origins of the Methodist Children's Home Society dates back to 1917, when the Spanish flu took out many adults working in Detroit and orphaned their children. Anna Kresge, the wife of the owner of Kresge Stores, worked with the Metropolitan Methodist Church to care for these children. After using various facilities, grants from the Kresge Foundation and other prominent Metro Detroit families funded construction of this Redford campus with its distinct historic architecture to provide a children's village in 1929. Since, MCHS has evolved and grown to add programs and facilities around Metro Detroit to serve the needs of foster children. This year, the organization created a new charter middle school to better serve the learning needs of these traumatized children. We are joined today by Methodist Children's Home Society President and CEO, Kevin Roach. Kevin, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me, Dan. It's great to be here with you.
So Kevin, can you tell us approximately how many children your organization and its programs serve each year?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I can say that at this point, we're almost losing count. We're serving hundreds of children in our residential treatment program, foster care, adoption, and independent living services for youth aging out of the foster care system. We're serving hundreds more in our community-based programs, whether that is for our children in the Teen Infant Parenting Services program, our child abuse prevention services, or the whole other sort of programs we're serving, along with our new charter school in which we're serving 27 young scholars.
So, how do children come into your care?
It really depends on what type of program that they're serving, but as you alluded to in kind of the beautiful narrative that you started off with, for our children, generally it's because they can't be in their home. And so the court will generally order these children to be placed elsewhere, and through the Department of Health and Human Services, they will come to a place like Methodist Children's Home Society.
So, can you share some gratifying experiences you and your team have had with the interactions you've had with the children you serve?
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably my favorite part, hands down, is really seeing for so many of our children the small successes that they have, whether they come into our program and they're angry and they're upset and they can't talk to any adult in the world because every one of them has let them down. And then by the end, having a beautiful outlook and understanding of what their life is about, but really what their future entails. And I think with each of those children, we just had one who left yesterday on our program after being with us for almost a year, and just the look of excitement and optimism that he had and thinking about what his life had. I think for most of our children, when we think about transforming lives and creating better futures, we see these time after time with all of our children. I'm proud to say that over 90% of our children leave to go to a permanent family. And when we think about, once again, what these children have gone through, what they've experienced, and for so many of them, wondering what their life is about, having a clear idea or a clear understanding of what that looks like as they leave here is probably by far the most gratifying thing that our staff see each and every day.
It's got to be the one thing that keeps you guys coming to work every day, and I know you face your fair share of challenges with children, but you know that's what it can be for each of them.
Exactly. We know that if it was easy, they probably wouldn't be here, right? We're dealing with children and families who've gone through a lot, who deserve second chances, who are working through some major challenges. We know that abuse and neglect, which the majority of our children have gone through, it doesn't operate in a vacuum. And so whether that's been substance abuse or domestic violence or witnessing other forms of violence or being sexually abused or whatever that list of issues or trauma that child has survived and gone through, we know that once again, if we're able to repair that childhood and help them have a brighter outlook on life, for those children, once again, that's at least for our staff, why they keep showing up each and every day.
Now, Kevin, like a lot of nonprofit organizations, you count on a lot of generous donors to make the programs and to grow what you're doing. Obviously, with the pandemic this year, we've been limited in our traditional fundraising efforts, our ability to gather. How have you adjusted to that to raise the revenue that you need to serve these children and raise awareness to the programs you provide?
You know, when you were kind of outlining how we started, right, over 100 years ago on the outbreak of the last global pandemic to shake all the continents, we relied on the generosity of people back then. We relied on the support of our community to build up what we are, and so nothing has changed. We find that even in the midst of what we find right now, we still are relying on the generosity of individuals, of businesses, of families who are coming out and getting a better understanding of where they can contribute or where they can help or where they can donate. It's been quite amazing to see that even though we haven't been able to do our traditional fundraising things, our special events, things along those lines, we're still getting that same community support and that same generosity that this agency was built on.
Now, you guys are in the midst of a socially distanced creative fundraising concept right now here at your campus here in Redford. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. We had to cancel our gala, which we've had for the last several years downtown Detroit. But as you know, and as most events have occurred, they've all been canceled. And so we wanted to do something that wasn't, once again, over Zoom or remote. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But trying to do something that would still lift the spirits of folks and give them an experience that necessarily can't take place over Zoom. And so we decided to light up our beautiful campus here in Redford, right next to a block away from Livonia, 80 acres, 22 buildings, hundreds of trees, and try to light them up in Christmas lights. One, it's a great way to showcase the beauty of our campus. Two, our children absolutely love this. And three, it was a way to really pull in the community partners and donors to give them a chance to experience some of that Christmas joy.
It's kind of a neat place for your children to hang out during the next month here with the
lights
out here.
Yeah, it's been kind of like a winter wonderland for them, as they've, a few of them got a say in what buildings should be decorated and what colors, but just for something that they will remember for a really long time. Once again, that's stuff that you can't really put a price on.
Well, Kevin, I thank you for your time today, and we definitely salute what you and your organization does for so many children in need here in Metro Detroit. Thank you again for the time today.
No, thank you so much for coming out and visiting, socially distant,
yes,
of course.
Exactly.
But we appreciate, once again, all the support from you and all the groups that you champion. So thank you.
And we thank everyone for watching this edition of Cityscape. We'll see you next time.